Shalom. ICPK coming out of 1 West on the 25th Street, Harlem, New York, at the Commander General Yahan. And today's topic is the New Jerusalem, which is true independence for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. And the thing of it is when we keep our minds up on that to understand that we're actually strangers in whatever place that we're at. Because when we lose sight of that, what we actually do is we start to think that where we're at is actually our home.
Right.
Even though, just like you got fake Israelite groups out there say, yeah, our home is Jerusalem, such and such. But then their mindset and the stuff that they say is really pointing to them looking at America as their permanent place.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? The ICPK, we don't do that. I mean, we are actually really seeking a country. You see what I'm saying? We're actually really seeking one. That's why we so big on separation here.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? The fake groups they're not on separation. Because if they were if they were actually on separation, then the vision of this place that they say that they so long for would start to become just a little clearer to them. But it doesn't, because they're not seeking that place. They don't care about that place. They love the way things are now. You see what I'm saying? And the only thing they want to do is just be leaders and all of that. They want to be the one. They want to be the one to get money. They want to actually be the one that the white man pays when he when he needs some insight on black people or what we doing. They want to be the go-to guy. You see what I'm saying? A lot of them cut secret deals and all that too. That's what another subject. Let me start it out with we're gonna start out with Hebrews chapter 11, and we're gonna start with the 13th verse. White man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians separate from the white man, who is biblically called the devil. Hebrews chapter 11, verse 13. These all died in faith, not having received the promises. Going from Abraham and all of that, not having the total, promises that because what was the land still called at Abraham's time? It was called the land of Canaan. But having seen them far off, and were persuaded of them, having seen them far off. What is this far off talking about? They were able to see these things, see this place in their mind. You see what I'm saying? They were able to see this place in their imagination, because that's what the Lord made an imagination for. Imagination, when it's used right, it's used for a vision. You see what I'm saying? That's why the Lord took Abraham and he showed him all the land of Canaan and said, as far as his eye could see, is what he would give him. Now, you can't physically, possibly, with your physical eyes, Abraham was impossible for Abraham to be able to see all the land of Canaan. It was totally impossible. You see what I'm saying? That'd be like saying, you on the Atlantic Ocean and you can see Britain. No, you can't see Britain from the Atlantic Ocean. It's too far. You see what I'm saying? So what eyes were the Most High wanting Abraham to see from? He was wanting him to see from the eyes of faith. You see what I'm saying? He wanted him to see what he couldn't see. That was the whole purpose behind that. These all died in faith, not having received the promises, but having seen them far off. And that's how, the forefathers didn't get to see the land and all that. Got to see them far off. You see what I'm saying? And were persuaded of them and embraced them and confessed that they were strangers and pilgrims on the earth. You see what I'm saying? This is how you know that, these strange, when you realize, when you start to think, when you come into the knowledge of the truth, and you start to, the first thing that should come into your mind is that you're a stranger. You see what I'm saying? That this ain't your home. When formerly you thought you was from Chicago, you thought you was You from Indiana, you thought you was Indiana, you thought you was a Hoosier. You see what I'm saying? Nah, you're not that. You come into the knowledge of this truth, then you realize, oh, wait a minute, hold on. I am a stranger in this land and a pilgrim. But if you find this knowledge out and then you go and you run to some fake Israelite group, what their job is to do the same thing the Christian church do. Is to undo what it is that what the Most High revealed to you to start to lead you to seek the truth anyway. You see what I'm saying? They're there to hop in the way, and it's like in football. You know what I'm saying? The quarterback throw a pass, and then you have somebody coming to intercept it. You see what I'm saying? Or block it, or trying to tackle the quarterback. Trying anything to stop the ball from going from the quarterback to the running back. You see what I'm saying? Or the wide receiver. That's what they're there to do. They're there to stop it, right? And then what they want to do is they want to block that vision, and then they want to make a vision for you that's around their group. You see what I'm saying? To where the vision is the vision that goes from the New Jerusalem onto making this group large, and them being the biggest fake Israelite group it is out there, with sheer numbers, and all of these people is, working their jobs and paying their tribute. You got a group out there that's about 800 strong, right? And what this group is about 800 strong, they got all of these, followers, and all of them is contributing money and all of that, and all of this money is going up to the leaders, and the leaders is just they're just getting swole off of it, right? That's the vision that they put in your head. That you're going to get a blessing here in this land for your contribution to them. So what are they teaching what are they teaching behind that? They're teaching to cut off the real vision. That's what they're teaching. And they're making their own vision based on their own flesh and their own self-will. But if your vision is actually, if the vision is given to you and you somehow evade all of them fake Israelite groups, that vision that you got is going to lead you into the ISUPK, because the group that's hardcore about separation is the group that actually sees this vision. You see what I'm saying? And were persuaded of them, and embraced them, and confessed that they were strangers and pilgrims on the earth. For they that say such things declare plainly that they seek a country. And truly, if they had been mindful of that country from whence they came out, they might have had opportunity to have returned. Did we lose the vision? Yes, our people lost the vision. You see what I'm saying? Now, we became separate in Black Wall Street, not by choice though. We became separate during that time by force, because white people wouldn't accept us in their stuff. We wasn't going to no white schools. We wasn't going and shopping with white people. We wasn't doing any of that. You see what I'm saying? What we were actually doing, we had all of our own stuff. You see what I'm saying? But of course, you had, brothers and everything that still wanted to deal with the heathens, because we were profiting so much. The heathens was trying to deal with some of us just so they could sit there and catch their cut off of us. You see what I'm saying? And the ones that hate their people was dealing with them. Now we're going to go to Revelations. Revelation 21:2. Well, matter of fact, we're going to start at verse 1. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from God out of heaven. Now, this is one thing that people got to understand also, too. There's going to be work in getting the New Jerusalem. You see what I'm saying? There's going to be work involved in it. You see what I'm saying? And you have so many people out there with the Christian mindset, and they don't like the work that we're doing. You see what I'm saying? They don't like it, but somehow they think that, the Most High is going to magically make just going up and magically a city just coming down, and it's not going to be, without you being separate. You think that it's going to be white people and everybody just going to be joining. It's like one of them Jehovah's Witness pamphlets. They think that's going to be, and what people need to understand is when you look at the Revelations, you're looking at a lot of visions. The visions are not to be taken literal. You see what I'm saying? And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from God out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. Now, now what John was seeing, right? He was seeing a vision, just like when Peter saw the vision that had the creeping things and all of that. The vision wasn't to be taken literal for him to go out there and start eating lobster and all that. That's not what that was. You see what I'm saying? But the Christian church teaches, God said that these things are clean. Now, now when catfish and lobster went from being unclean in the law now to being clean. You see what I'm saying? That's one of the things that the Christian church also teaches. They teach that the New Testament brought in all kinds of new laws against the old laws. You see what I'm saying? That it said that eating a catfish was unclean in the Old Testament. Now Christ came and somehow he died for the catfish to be eaten. You see what I'm saying? You see how foolish that is? And they're teaching according to their own lust of what it is that they want to do and what they like to do. They like eating pork. Then, we know that pork is also the favorite Christian meat. Then they'll put it like Christ went to the cross for the pig so that you can eat it. It sounds extremely stupid because the pig is a four-legged walking garbage can. That's what he does. That's why it's harder. You can't poison a pig. You see what I'm saying? A pig can eat damn anything. I don't even think you can even poison a pig. They can eat deadly poisons and still live. And if they got that all in them, and you eat that, what are you eating? You see what I'm saying? You are eating poisons also. And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, "Behold, the tabernacle of God is with men, and he will dwell, and they shall be his people, and God himself shall be with them and be their God." Now, this is what you see with the New Jerusalem, but this stuff is going to seriously take effort, and it's going to take a lot of trial. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to take people to have a desire to separate from the heathens. You know what I'm saying? Now let's go to 31. Son should be his commandments and still have a sense of, loving other people, separation and things like that. But instead, now we're like, we replace that with raising them to be a football star. You see what I'm saying? That is making your children pass through the fire. You offering them up as a sacrifice into the kingdom that your butt is enslaved to. You see what I'm saying? You offering your child into slavery is what you're doing. But when you offer your gifts, when you make your sons to pass through the fire, you pollute yourselves with all your idols, even unto this day. And shall I be inquired of by you, O house of Israel? As I live, saith the Lord God, I will not be inquired of by you. And that which cometh into your mind shall not be at all, that ye say, we will be as the heathen. That stops the whole vision of us, of us wanting to seek that country, to seek the New Jerusalem. The Christians that talk about the New Jerusalem, and because that's one of the only places in Revelation that they really go to. Yeah, and I've seen the New Jerusalem coming down, right? They'll go there, but they're not looking forward to the New Jerusalem. They'll sit there and join the military and go over in the Middle East, and then go over to Jerusalem that's among the heathen and everything, right? They thinking that that's the New Jerusalem. They don't want the real New Jerusalem coming, because the real New Jerusalem is not going to have the heathens in it like that. They're not going to be running the place, and there's not going to be a whole bunch of buildings and monuments and all that to all the heathen customs. So there's not going to be that big Muslim dome that and all the different things that they got over there. That stuff's not going to be there. That stuff's going to be brought to nothing. People that are over there today are the children of the devil. We other countries to serve wood and stone. What are they doing over there? They're over there as Muslims. You see what I'm saying? And also, too, they're serving the wood, the cross. You see him on TV, you got the white man running around with the cross on his, walking around with the sad face and the cross on his back. And that Jerusalem that's over there right now is just filled up with black women that come from America to go over there to follow fake Christian pastors like Perry Stone. Every damn time he goes over to Jerusalem over there, black women follow him. You see what I'm saying? Black women without their husbands, because when you look at them, you see when they have their little thing, when they in the Holy Land and they having their little broadcast and all that, you see them black women out there, all heavy set and lusty and all that, with no man, following Perry Stone over to Jerusalem. They thinking that's the New Jerusalem. If they loving that Jerusalem, then how the hell they want the New Jerusalem to come down? Because the New Jerusalem is going to be the direct opposite of that. You see what I'm saying? So when they're talking about the New Jerusalem, they're talking about a New Jerusalem that they don't even want to come down. As I live, saith the Lord God, surely with a mighty hand and with a stretched out arm and with fury poured out will I rule over you. And I will bring you out from the people, and will gather you out of the countries wherein ye are scattered, with a mighty hand and with a stretched out arm and with fury poured out. And I will bring you into the wilderness of the people, and there will I plead with you face to face. What does it mean when the Lord said he will plead with you face to face? It means he's going to send plagues. After carrying you out of the country, though. After carrying you out of the country that we were scattered in, for the Most High started to bring us back into the New Jerusalem, right? He's going to send plagues. and to start to drop people before they even get into the land. You see what I'm saying? And I will bring you into the wilderness of the people, and there will I plead with you face to face. Now, what does he mean by the wilderness of the people? Right? The wilderness of the people means we will be in the midst of every nation that's up on the face of the planet. They will behold this great event is taking place with pure hatred and looking for ways that they can pick people off. You see what I'm saying? Just like in the first deal, when we was brought out under Moses, Amalek came after us. You see what I'm saying? I'm gonna give you a clue. Like as I pleaded with your fathers in the wilderness of the land of Egypt, so will I plead with you, said the Lord God. Because this wilderness right here is going to come from all over the globe. It's not going to be exactly, it's going to be way more spectacular than the first one was. You see what I'm saying? The first Exodus was spectacular and great, and the whole world knew about it, but we was all coming geographically from one place. This one is going to be a little different, because we're going to be, coming from all of these different places. You see what I'm saying? We're going to be coming from all of these different places, and the Most High is going to have the fury and all of the, and all the nations that we at is going to behold us, and they're going to all want to take us out. And I will cause you to pass under the rod. Now, what does it mean? The Most High will cause us to pass under the rod. The rod is also known for discipline. You see what I'm saying? And I will bring you into the bond of the covenant. He said he will bring us into the bond of the covenant. What is the bond of the covenant? Because the Lord is going to make this thing happen. He's like, wait a minute, the promise that he made to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, that they seed was going to inherit the land. That's the whole purpose behind the Most High bringing us under the rod and bringing us under the bond of the covenant. There, he's going to reinstate that covenant and be like, hey, this is what it is. He's going to go forward to execute his plan and his promise that he promised to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob without giving a damn who he got to kill to do so. You see what I'm saying? That's the whole thing, the bond. The bond is something you need to lock to it. You see what I'm saying? And I will cause you to pass under the rod, and I will bring you into the bond of the covenant. And I will purge out from among you the rebels and them that transgress against me. I will bring them forth out of the country where they sojourn, and they shall not enter into Israel, into the land of Israel, and ye shall know that I am the Lord. Now, think about that for a second. He's going to take you out of the country that you was captive to, right? Just like he took us out of the land of Egypt, and then at the same time, that was his land. You see what I'm saying? Well, it's going to be a similar event coming, except for this one is going to be even so great that the first one's buried like that. It's going to be remembered, but it's not going to be the big talk. You see what I'm saying? This one is going to be the big talk for hundreds of years. You know what I'm saying? All right. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to start to see. They'll think about it now. What it is, the Most High destroyed the ones in the wilderness, and now you got the ones that's coming into this land. And the land is going to have to be built and prepared, right? just like the first one was. This one is going to be even more glorious than the first one. You go to Isaiah. We'll start out with Isaiah chapter 14. Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 1. Well, the Lord will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. Now, in this time, the strangers who we formerly was clinging to is now going to be clinging to us now. You see what I'm saying? They now clinging to us. The world is being flipped right side up instead of upside down. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place. And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives whose captives they were. And they shall rule over their oppressors. Now think about it for a second. How are you going to build a kingdom that's going to be so great and so glorious? You're going to do it kind of in a similar fashion to the way that they built this one. What did they build it on? They built it on black slaves, didn't they? So the New Jerusalem is going to have to start to be built on slaves. You see what I'm saying? New Jerusalem is going to have to be built on slaves, just like in this kingdom. We was the slaves up under them, and they building up on us. You see what I'm saying? Because that's how they built such a glorious place like Chicago, New York City, you know, all of these great places all over the earth. How did they build them? They built them from slave labor. They were all built from slave labor. You see what I'm saying? You go to the north side of Chicago, and it's like a whole new world of glitz and glamour, and I mean, everything is just so splendid and, you know, spectacular. They built that because the south side of Chicago is built in a way that is full of impoverished black people. You see what I'm saying? Madison and Pulaski and all of that area, they are rich, and all of that stuff that they have is built off of us, whether directly or indirectly. That's why white people hate the thought of us separating. You see what I'm saying? Not only do they hate the thought of us separating, the other heathens do also. You see what I'm saying? Because the heathens understand we separate from them, their kingdom is going to start to crumble. It's going to start to crumble and be laid to rubble. You see what I'm saying? Now you know why during the time of Black Wall Street, and we wasn't even in the power that we're going to be in, you know, to build the New Jerusalem. And look how glorious our places look, you know, during the time of Black Wall Street and everything that we had, and we wasn't even in the truth. You see what I'm saying? So just imagine what things is going to be like in the New Jerusalem, right? And because one thing, the Lord didn't dwell in Black Wall Street. The Lord didn't dwell there. That's the reason why the Lord ended up allowing the heathen to come in and destroy everything. You see what I'm saying? And then after that, what did they do? They integrated us. You know, they gave us integration so that they could totally just try and wipe us out. Verse 3. And it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow, and from thy fear, and from thy hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve. Now, to further prove my point of what I was just talking about, watch what the next verse says. That thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon, and say, how hath the oppressor seized, the golden city seized? Yeah, it said, so obviously when it says with the separation of us, that the golden city seizes. That further proves my point. We are the battery to fuel their kingdom. We are the battery to fuel the global economy. You see what I'm saying? Not just America by itself. Because what happens is, the heathens, what do? They come to America, right? Don't the heathens come? They come to America and they get rich off of us. You got the Vietnamese that come with the nail shops. You got the Koreans that sell the weed. And what happens as a result of them getting all of that money from nails and weaves and all of that, that goes to enrich their country. So now that their country is risen up out of the dust, and have cities that look better than Las Vegas and all that. You see what I'm saying? That's what all of that is doing. That's why it talks about I'm gonna pull the scripture. The ones that got the power are 1 hour with the beast. Go to Revelations 17 to 12. Revelation chapter 17 and verse 12. And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings which have received no kingdom as yet. Right? But receive power as kings one hour with the beast. Now this 1 hour is not a literal period of time, right? But they received their kingdom after 1 hour with the beast. Why? Because the beast made them rich. The beast is this kingdom. You see what I'm saying? When the Bible talks about beast in prophetic terms, you know, it's talking about kingdoms. So 1 hour with this kingdom, tell me what kingdom is so rich to where, you know, joining with this kingdom is going to make you rich also. What kingdom is that? Damn right, it's the kingdom that the white man runs. You see what I'm saying? That all the other nations side with him to help him to destroy us, and as a result of that, they become rich. You see what I'm saying? That's what, because I mean, how can you not get rich if you some Hamite African and you own a store? You don't have to buy the store. You don't have to work hard, save money, and go get the store. They're cutting you grants. They're cutting you grants, and you are turning 100% profit. You see what I'm saying? You don't have to do like what black people have to do to start a business. Black man can't even get a business grant. You see what I'm saying? The only grant that a black man can get is about $4,000 for you to go to school. You see what I'm saying? While every heathen, you know, Africans, Arabs, and all of them can go and get grants so that they can start business. Something happened where the grant, where the business failed or something, they just get cut another grant. You can't lose. You see what I'm saying? Your store ain't turning a profit, you get another grant. You can't lose when it's like that. A black man, you save up all your money and you try to open up a business, that business flop, you might not never open up another business again. While he can flop 5, 10 damn times because he has funding from America and from the country that he came from. You see what I'm saying? He gets that. In his country, he also gets rich off what America is done for them. America's done all the stuff that has done help them out, right? And they done sat down and got all of that money. So now they can start to co-finance their own heathens that they bring to this country. And they're not the highest, they're the lowest, the base people in their own land. They're not the highest up people, they're not royalty. If they were royalty and all that, they can just stay over there. They don't need to come here. They need to come here to get rich for. You see what I'm saying? They're not the best of the best or nothing like that. You can look at the damn, you look at the damn African's feet and tell that he's not no rich dude. You see what I'm saying? You can look at it, his feet and all of that and tell that he's not, he wasn't the upper echelon of whatever Hamite country he's from. You see what I'm saying? You look at the feet and look at the waist, some of the things that they do and all that, they're not the top dude. They're not the top people. They're not nowhere near it. They're all the way at the damn bottom. They were just lucky enough to get a student visa. You see what I'm saying? And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings which have received no kingdom as yet, because they weren't in power yet, but received power as kings 1 hour with the beast. These have one mind, and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. Because what's going on now, right? Christianity is the global religion. You see what I'm saying? You have the World Bank set up, right? And you have the white man that is leading the charge in the technology and all of that, and everyone's getting the technology from him. They're taking it, doing what they, doing their own thing with it, but at the same time, he's like the producer of all of this stuff. He's pushing this stuff out there. And all of this stuff is done of enslaving of the Most High's people of the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. You see what I'm saying? Black man invent the cell phone. White man take the cell phone, mass produce it. China gets the blueprint of the phone and come with their own version. And all, both of out of the 3 that I just mentioned, 2 get rich. White man and the Chinese man. The black man gets nothing. You see what I'm saying? So that shows you that this world is fueled off of us. But if we're seeking the New Jerusalem, then we will start to operate differently. We will start to operate like we actually want to be separate. You see what I'm saying? Now we're going to go to Isaiah 60. As a matter of fact, we're going to start at 59 and 20. And the Redeemer shall come to Zion, and unto them that turn from transgression in Jacob, said the Lord. As for me, this is my covenant with them, said the Lord. My spirit that is upon thee, and my words which I have put in thy mouth shall not depart out of thy mouth, nor out of the mouth of thy seed, nor out of the mouth of thy seed's seed, said the Lord, from henceforth and forever. This is going to be the thing that's going to start to establish the new Jerusalem right here, right? Arise, shine, for thy light is come. Now, also too, you got the Christian Israelite groups. What do they say? They say, we're supposed to be a light to the Gentiles. We ain't supposed to act like that. We're supposed to be a light to the Gentiles. Out of their dumb ignorance, they don't even understand the light that's actually being talked about that we're going to be unto the Gentiles. They don't even understand. They think that little soft, sweet songs and all of that, and the way that they accept everybody, that's the same damn thing that the Christian pastor does. You see what I'm saying? While they claim that they left Christianity, they left Christianity to come out of Christianity and become Christians, which makes no sense. You should have stayed in the Christian church or just became a Christian pastor. You know, that's what you should have did instead of, you know, and you thinking that, you know, we're supposed to be a light to the Gentiles. I'm going to start to show you what this light is actually about. This light of the Gentiles is directly linked with the New Jerusalem. You see what I'm saying? I'm going to show you the light that we're going to be to the Gentiles, since they love to talk about the light to the Gentiles. We're supposed to be the light to the Gentiles. They love to keep saying that. I'm going to show you what this light is, according to the Bible. Arise, shine, for thy light is come. Now, there's the light. There's that light that they're talking about. I'm going to hurt some Christian feelings right now. I'm going to hurt some fake Israelite group feelings and going to give them some understanding that they never damn had before. All right? And the glory of the Lord is risen up on thee. That's it. The glory of the Lord is risen up on thee. Is the glory of the Lord risen up on the fake Israelite groups? No. You see what I'm saying? No. The Lord's glory that he's talking about here at this time right now is not risen up on any of us yet. This is for a point in time right here. What is this light going to do? Because the whole world is not going to know what the hell to do. It's going to come to us, but they got to come to you for answers. You see what I'm saying? Ain't nobody talking light for the Gentile. Ain't nobody coming to your ass for an answer. So how the hell you a light to the Gentiles? If ain't none of the Gentiles, the heathen that you love so goddamn much, ain't none of them coming to you, asking you, what is your counsel? You know what I'm saying? During this time, our counsel is going to be so great that people are going to be coming with gifts. They're going to be coming with money. You see what I'm saying? Because they're going to need that counsel. That is the light that it's talking about. It's not talking about you singing and dancing and banging on some tambourines, or you wearing all white. You know what I'm saying? You wearing all white with your little, you know, blue ribbon and your little bristles at the end of your shirt. That's not what it's talking about. What it's talking about. That's not the light. I can't even explain what the light is. He's supposed to be a light. He's supposed to be a light to the Gentiles. They can't even explain what the light is. But behold, the darkness shall cover the earth. Because what's going to happen? Everybody's going to be in confusion. Because if we're separate from everybody, now everybody's going to have to. We make it look like that we make it look like that we're more wicked than all of them are, and that they're halfway righteous. You see what I'm saying? Because we're joined with them. Now we separate from them, then we'll be able to see how wicked that they actually are. And the Lord is going to do what with them? He's going to hit them with plagues once we separate. You see what I'm saying? For them to integrate us was one of the most devastating, that was the most devastating trick that they could possibly do to us. Even worse than them taking our identity. It was even worse than that. Integrating us. That's why they love Martin Luther King so much. You see what I'm saying? The only reason why they killed Martin Luther King because they figured he was going to be way more profitable and beneficial to them as a martyr. Because then they could make him a god. And Negroes will perpetually follow him. You see what I'm saying? Instead of him just being here on the earth and then rising them up and then turning him down just like they do everybody, and his dream get forgotten about, you know what I'm saying? Nah. They figured it's best to go ahead and take him out. You see what I'm saying? And gross darkness the people, but the Lord shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee. And the Gentiles shall come to thy light. The light is going to come by us being separate. With us being integrated, there's no light coming from us. You going to them. They are the light to you. That's why fake Israelite groups are set up are speaking Yiddish and all that, because they're your light. You see what I'm saying? You going to them to learn Hebrew, which ain't even Hebrew. So, but then talk about we're supposed to be a light to the Gentile. How the hell are you going to be a light to the Gentile when you're going to them to learn? They're a light to you, dumbass. How the hell are you going to be a light to them when you serving them in all things, right? You'll sit there and talk bad about black men, talk bad about brothers in the ISUPK, but at the same time, if anybody say anything against that white man, now you ready to charge him with racism and say, brother, that ain't how we supposed to be. We're supposed to be a light to the Gentiles. Well, then if that's a damn case, you got pretty goddamn dark when it came to us, didn't it? If you really believe that you're supposed to be a light to the world, right? Then why the hell are you dogging us out then? Why you talking bad about us? You know what I'm saying? Why we talk bad about the white man? So tell me who's got the light that you actually seeking after? The white man. He's got the light that you seeking after. You seeking his light. You ain't trying to be a light. You following a light. The wrong light, dumbass. And the Gentiles shall come to thy light, and kings to the brightness of thy rising. Lift up thine eyes round about, and see. All they that gather themselves together, they come to thee. Thy sons shall come from far, and thy daughters shall be nursed at thy side. Then thou shalt see and flow together, and thine heart shall fear and be enlarged, because the abundance of the sea shall be converted unto thee. What's it? Now, let me show you what this light is. This is also going into how the New Jerusalem is going to start to be built. You get this understood. It says the abundance of the sea will be converted unto us. What is the abundance of the sea? What does the sea have in it? The sea has treasures in it. You see what I'm saying? Clams produce pearls. You see what I'm saying? Damn, gold is in the sea. Whatever trade is being done up on the earth, it said it's going to be converted to us, right? So if you in one of these countries and you see all of these truckloads carrying all of these riches and all that, right? You're going to think in your mind, damn, where's all that going? And then you follow in the truck, you see it, and then you talking to people about it. Y'all talking about it, you're like, yeah, man, I heard the place is going to this one place. And the riches, is being at this one place. What's going to be the light? The light is going to be in that place. You see what I'm saying? Just like when you see armored trucks carrying a bunch of money, and you're thinking, man, all of that stuff is going to the bank. And who is it going to? It's going to the white man. So he is a light to you. Because you start to think, damn, in order for me to get a piece of that, I got to start to be like him. He's your light. That's why you fake Israelites is running around with the tassels, with the 4 little tassels on your shirt, and the little yarmulkes and beanies and all of that on, because your light is the light of the damn heathen. He's a light to you. You're not a light to him. Let me ask you a question. Why would he be a light to you in this current situation? You ain't got nothing. How the hell are you going to sit there and tell him about Yahushua and all of that when he's far richer than you? You know, you think that you got, just because you got a decent job, that you're blessed just because of that job, because you're a janitor somewhere. So if you're a janitor and he owns the place that you're cleaning, who's the more blessed? By your standards, it will be him. You see what I'm saying? Being the more blessed, who is a light to who? Because he doesn't want to act like you. Because he figured he act like you know what I'm saying? Look at what you got. Why should he follow you? Right? He's got way more than you. He has power. You see what I'm saying? All of his kids, all of his wives, all of his children with his wife is all about one man. He's the father of all 5 of his children. You, on the other hand, is only the father of 1. Your wife got 5, you only like a father of 1. You know what I'm saying? Or 2, maybe. She got 3 by some other damn dude. Why is he gonna follow your life for? You see what I'm saying? He's supposed to follow your light. He's supposed to follow your light, so you know his wife would go out and be a whore on him and end up with kids by another man, and he raise them, and that's you the light to the Gentiles. Like to get them to do what? Because the abundance of the seed shall be converted unto thee. The forces of the Gentiles shall come unto thee. What's the forces of the Gentiles? Everything that they treasure and they have to empower themselves. That's the forces of the Gentiles. You see what I'm saying? So if all the forces of the Gentiles is being converted unto us, who's going to be the light? You see what I'm saying? In a Christian church, have you thinking the light is some, you run around with a happy, goofy countenance on your face all the time, smiling, and that's the light. It's not the light, you damn idiot. The portions of the Gentiles shall come unto thee. The multitudes of the camels shall cover thee. Now, what are camels known for? Camels are known for transporting things. You got all of these camels in all of these surrounding Middle Eastern countries, and all of these camels, and you seeing trains of camels. Like, man, look at that. Heathens is going to be like seeing all of these trains of camels, and they're going to be like, man, all of this stuff is going to them? We need to be like them. That's the light that it's talking about. To be a light unto the Gentiles, right? That's the light that it's actually talking about. Because you're doing something that nobody else can do. You see what I'm saying? Apostle Paul, them, even though they didn't have money like that, even though they didn't have much money, light, because everybody had, they were healing people. They were actually healing people, you know what I'm saying? The lame were walking. The dead was raised. You know what I'm saying? So everybody's like, that's why the Canaanite woman, she ran to Christ. They had the daughter that had the illness. She sought Christ out. What was he to her? He was a light to her. Why was he a light to her? Because he could heal the condition. You see what I'm saying? He could heal that condition, so she searched far and wide from him, spent her money and all of that. You know what I'm saying? He was a light unto her. When you're a light to the Gentiles, that don't mean that you just running around singing and dancing and embracing and accepting every damn body. That's not what that means. That means they need you. They need you. That's what it means. Now you start to see how the New Jerusalem is starting to be built now. You see what I'm saying? Because it says the multitude of camels shall cover thee. It says the multitude of camels, that's a lot of camels, and what will they all be doing? They will be packing spices and incense. They'll be packing all types of goods, things that we flour, you know what I'm saying? Corn, coming from all different places of the earth. You know, coming from all, you know, all of these different, you know, lands and all of that, the camels will be coming through, right? And what will these things do? These things will start to make us rich. We'll be fat in flour, fat in oil, fat in corn, things that we use, you know, Issacharites, you know, the Mexicans going to be making tortillas, you know what I'm saying? You're going to have plenty of things to make tortillas and all of that off of, you know. They're going to have all of these great, you know, riches coming from off of these camels. And once again, like I was saying, who is going to be a light? We're going to be the light because the whole world's riches is going to be converted to us, just like every other nation seems like they're a light to us while we grow, you know, as blind men, because all of these nations are rich and become rich off of us. And we don't even know that they come rich off of us. We think that they're rich because the Asian rice farmer save up all his money his whole life, you know, and then come over here with all of his discipline and start buy a bunch of weeds. You know what I'm saying? And then just start selling it and work his way all the way from the ground up. We think that. We're ignorant to even how they even got their stuff. You see what I'm saying? The multitude of camels shall cover thee, the dromedaries of Midian and Ephah. All they from Sheba shall come. They shall bring gold and incense. Look at this. Because you see where all the gold and the incense is going. Right? Now let's go back. We're going to go back to the first verse right here. Arise, shine, for thy light is come. You see what I'm saying? Now you start to see the light of the Gentile, what the light that unto the Gentiles is about. Because everybody else is going to be starting to go into poverty. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have rich out there, but you're going to have so many poor, you know what I'm saying, and all of that too, right? And they shall show forth the praises of the Lord. All the flocks of Kedar. Who's Kedar? Kedar was like the third son of Ishmael. All of his descendants, all the flocks. What is that? The flocks, the cattle, the sheep, you know, all of those things, right? What's going to happen to them? Shall be gathered together unto thee. Wait a minute. It said all of this stuff is going to be gathered together unto us. So now tell me what that light is. Now you start to see New Jerusalem started to be formed, because what's the Most High going to do? He's going to wipe all the heathens out of it. You see what I'm saying? The rams of the Baal shall minister unto thee. What does it mean that they're going to minister to us? It doesn't mean that they're going to be the rams that's going to be preaching. The rams is going to be ministering to us, and they're going to be for our service. We're going to be taking the rams, breeding them with the sheep, producing more sheep. You know what I'm saying? And these will be the biggest, thickest, and strongest. You see what I'm saying? How else are we going to be a light? Because our cattle is going to be bigger and stronger and more healthy than everybody else's. So they can't help but to think, man, what the hell do they do to make their stuff like that? What do they feed them? Now, where does the attention go? All the farmers, the people that herd sheep and cow, where is all their attention going to go? All the attention is going to go to us because they're going to be trying to find out what we're going to do, what we're doing. So now tell me who's being a light to the Gentiles then. Tell me if it's that bullshit you talk while you're in your fake Israelite synagogue. Is that the light? No, it ain't the light. They shall come up with acceptance on my altar, and I will glorify the house of my glory. Who are these that fly as a cloud, and as the doves to their windows? Surely the isles shall wait for me, and the ships of Tarshish first, to bring thy sons from far, their silver and gold with them, unto the name of the Lord thy God, and to the Holy One of Israel, because he hath glorified thee. Now you see how we're going to be a light unto the Gentiles. You see what I'm saying? It says it's similar to how King Solomon was a light to the Gentiles. And the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls. What are they going to be doing? They're going to be serving us. You know why? They're serving us because we're going to be the light unto them. We're going to be the ones that they're going to have to come to for judgment, the ones that they're going to have to come to for answers. How many Gentiles are coming into your fake groups and getting counsel with you? Ain't none of them coming and getting the counsel from you. They're not calling you for counsel. They're not calling you how to fix their relationship. They're not causing you to how to get their children straightened up. They're not causing how the hell you a light to them. You see what I'm saying? When you're in darkness, you want light because you need it. Obviously, that light that you say that you got, none of them need it. None of them need it. That's why they're not calling you. They're not calling you for counsel. They're not calling you on how to fix this. They're not calling you on how to beef up their livestock. You know what I'm saying? They're not calling you for financial advice. They're not calling you for any of that. You are going to them. You're going to them, like I said, you're going to them for a culture. You go in there, you see them put the little tassels, the little zips or whatever they call them on the bottom of their shirt. You look at them, you see their light, and you do the same thing. You see what I'm saying? You see them with a yarmulke on, and you think, boy, that must be the hat of God. Their light shines to you. You follow what they do, you put a yarmulke on. You see what I'm saying? Now, also too, what they also, you see them and you seeing them continually is something great. So who's being a light to who? They are being a light to you, not you to them. Unto the name of the Lord thy God, and to the Holy One of Israel, because he hath glorified thee. And the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, and their kings shall minister unto thee. For in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor have I had mercy on thee. Most High had mercy on us in this favor, right? And that mercy that he has, this is starting to have the light that shines. What is he doing? He's preserving us, and he's making it where we multiply. Not only that, we're getting rich, all of that. Therefore thy gates shall be open continually. They shall not be shut day or night, that men may bring unto thee the voices of the Gentiles. There I go again, right? Is anybody bringing the voices of the Gentiles to you? No. They're not. And that their kings may be brought. Now it said that also that their kings shall be brought, right? Because we're going to have the power to be bringing their kings in the captivity. And what are people going? What are the other Gentiles going to think? Man, what? Look at how great this people are. You see what I'm saying? For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. Yea, those nations shall be utterly waste. Now, what? How else are we going to be alike to the Gentiles? Because the nations that hate and don't want to serve us, they're going to start to see their other Gentile neighbors perishing. You see what I'm saying? They're going to start to see them not keeping the Feast of Tabernacles, and they're going to start to see them get famine for 3 years. You know what I'm saying? 3, 4, 5 years, whatever the case is. You see what I'm saying? They're going to start to see them being famine and impoverished when they themselves had actually went up to tabernacles and they're doing fine. And they're going to see them not doing it. So now, who is the light going to be then? You see what I'm saying? Everybody gravitates to the light, right? And now remember, it also says the nation that don't want to serve thee shall perish. It'll be utterly wasted. And then it also goes on to say, also too, that the ones that don't keep the Feast of Tabernacles means they have to come out of their dwellings and be in booths also, right? Bringing gold and silver and whatever riches it is that they have. So if they're bringing it all to Jerusalem, which would be the center of the earth, right? Where is the light going to be at? And to the Gentiles, it's going to be in Jerusalem. And who's going to be the people of the people that are going to be, in the midst of that light? It's going to be the nation of Israel, and we're going to be the nation. We're going to be like the candle that everybody has to gravitate to. Just like when the moths and all that fly all around the light. You see what I'm saying? Wow, you said in your fake Israelite group of your church talking about we got to be a light to the Gentile when you don't even understand what that's even talking about. You don't get it at all. You see what I'm saying? And you're not seeking that country. You're too busy trying to be a dog in this one. The glory of Lebanon shall come unto thee. The fir tree, the pine tree. Where are these trees going to come from? These trees are going to be coming from everybody else's land. You know what I'm saying? Coming on big trucks. You know what I'm saying? Being loaded up and being brought into Jerusalem. So when the Gentiles see all of these trucks go through their land and they know where they're going to, like, man, and they see all these sweet smelling trees and all of that just being loaded up and brought to Jerusalem. Now you start to see the light to the Gentiles and the land of Jerusalem being built, the same one that John seen coming down from heaven in the vision. The glory of Lebanon shall come unto thee, the fir tree, the pine tree, and the box together to beautify the place of my sanctuary, and I will make the place of my feet glorious. The sons also of them that afflicted thee shall come bending unto thee. Why are they going to come bending to us? Because we're going to be a light in the dark place. You see what I'm saying? Now, this is what you know. When they're coming, now the Christians, they hate this. And the fake Israelite groups hate the fact that these heathens are going to come bending unto us. That's why they so goddamn mad with the ISUPK, because we get boot kisses. That totally just rubs them all the way the wrong way when the scriptures say that the heathen, the ones that afflicted us, are going to come bending to us. So what, in this day, they're going to be mad too? And all they that despise thee shall bow themselves down at the soles of thy feet. And they shall call thee the city of the Lord, the Zion of the Holy One of Israel, whereas thou hast been forsaken and hated, so that no man went through thee. I will make thee an eternal excellency, a joy of many generations. Thou shalt also suck the milk of the Gentiles, Because with us producing this light, what are the Gentiles going to come with in return? If we're going to be a nation of kings and priests in the earth, whenever you go to visit the king, you got to come bearing gifts. So what are they going to come with? You see what I'm saying? So now you start to understand what the light to the Gentiles is. And shalt suck the breast of kings, and thou shalt know that I, the Lord, am thy Savior and thy Redeemer, the mighty one of Jacob. For brass I will bring gold. Now think about it, just as common as brass is, gold will be common in this place. You talk about gold door handles, gold doorknobs and all of that. You see a nation of people with gold doorknobs, you'll be like, man, that's a powerful people right there. That is a rich people, and they will be what? You're going to figure, I got to imitate them. You know what I'm saying? That's how you will be a light unto them. And for iron, I will bring silver. As common as iron is, silver will be just as common as what iron is. You see what I'm saying? And for wood, brass. As common as wood is, brass will be that common. And for stones, iron. Iron. I will also make thy officers peace. Because, see, the officers are not going to be mistreating black people. The officers are also going to be judges, also judging matters, and judging matters righteously, not judging in the favor of the rich. So what does that tell you? This is how we're going to be a light to the Gentiles, because when we're ruling over them in their own countries and all that, and if they get an unrighteous judgment where they at, and they leaders is judging on behalf of the rich, they know that they can get proper judgment from us, and we'll straighten out that matter. You see what I'm saying? So who would they come seeking after? They'll come seeking after us. You see what I'm saying? Just like moths to a flame. And thine exactors righteousness. What is the exactors? The ones that come and collect, the ones that come and collect money. You know what I'm saying? The ones that come and collect the fines or, tithes or any of that type of, they'll be handling that. These will be the exactors. You see what I'm saying? And they will not be going and you have the exactors and everything in Rome that will put their own fee on top of whatever, whatever they was going to collect. So if you owed $1,000, you had to pay $1,300 because you also had to pay, the exactor. You see what I'm saying? He put his own little tax on that. Well, these guys are going to be righteous because those men weren't righteous. They already see a poor people that's already paying too much in them taxes, right? It's already, being exacted, and then they put their own stuff on top of it too to even further the oppression. But it says these exactors are going to be righteous, while the whole rest of the world, they're going to be screwing each other over. They're going to be doing each other like that. You see what I'm saying? Their exactors are not going to be righteous. Their exactors is going to start to oppress them. You see what I'm saying? The only reason why the world is not oppressing each other is because we're joined with the world. If we were separate from the world will start to oppress one another. Just like during the time of, 1920 Chicago or something. You know what I'm saying? What were white people doing to each other? They were oppressing each other. You see what I'm saying? White people were oppressing each other. That's why a lot of them during the time of, the stock market was jumping off the damn buildings and all of that. With the stock market crash. And then gangsters was running around extorting everybody. You see what I'm saying? Extorting them. It became what they call crabs in a bucket. The only reason why we crash in the bucket now because we're joined with them. And when we join with them, they become rich. They become a light to us, which is a false light, but still a light. And we start to imitate them. You see what I'm saying? That's why after integration, the murder rate shot up. We wasn't murdering each other like that during the time of the 50s and the 40s and all of that. We wasn't murdering each other to the magnitude that we are now. Violence shall be no more be heard in thy land, wasting nor destruction within thy borders. But thou shalt call thy walls salvation and thy gates praise. The sun shall be no more thy light by day. Now, check this out. It said, sun shall be no more the light by day. Right? What does this mean? Yeah, the sun is still going to be there. But the glory and presence of the Most High is going to be so strong, you know what I'm saying, that we ain't even going to need the sun. It's going to be like that, you know what I'm saying? The sun is just going to be, you know what I'm saying? Of course, it's still going to be there. It's going to be there forever. Still running this course and all of that. But we're not even going to need it for light because the place is going to be so lit up. Jerusalem is going to be so lit up. We're not even going to need it. You see what I'm saying? This is what's the new Jerusalem right here. And even at this time, I mean, this is the way better Jerusalem because even during the time of King Solomon, it wasn't like this. Even as glorious as it was. You see what I'm saying? It wasn't like unto this. Neither for brightness shall the moon give light unto thee, but the Lord shall be unto thee an everlasting light, and thy God thy glory. Thy sun shall no more go down. Man, so what is this saying right here? Right? Also, with the sun not going down, means there's not going to be no confusion or darkness up in the land. You see what I'm saying? This place is going to stay lit. Thy sun shall no more go down, neither shall thy moon withdraw itself, for the Lord shall be thine everlasting light, and the days of thy mourning shall be ended. No more sorrow, because we ain't gonna have a need to be sorrowful. You see what I'm saying? Damn, every damn thing that you need, that you want, that you got is there. You see what I'm saying? No more fear of danger, no more fear of the white man. You see what I'm saying? Now, what we're going to do, now let's go to chapter 61. We're gonna go to 61:3. To appoint unto them that mourn in Zion, to give unto them beauty for ashes. We already know what the ashes are, right? The oil of joy for mourning, the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness, that they might be called trees of righteousness, the planting of the Lord, that he might be glorified. And they shall build the old waste. And it says we're going to build the old waste, right? So in order for us to build, we have to tear down. We have to, all the waste places that's over there right now, all of that stuff's coming down. You see what I'm saying? All of that stuff is going to be laid to rubble. It's going to be cleaned up, and then what we're going to do, after the Most High purifies the land, we're going to build up on that land. Now you see in the New Jerusalem is going to be built with effort. You see what I'm saying? So now you get ready to know what the scripture's talking about when it said if a man don't work, he don't eat, right? If a man doesn't work, he should not eat, because all of your labors, all your works are supposed to be helping to, separate your people, gather your people together, and seek out the New Jerusalem. That's the work that it's talking about. It's not talking about being on your goddamn job and all of that, being in your slavery, and and they say if you don't do that, then you shouldn't eat, right? You got so many of you fake Israelite groups out there, especially like the purple group. They know that they're not doing the work of the Lord, to be honest with you. When it all boils down to it, they know that they're not doing the work of the Lord. That's why they exalt the job so much. Because that's their real work. Whatever you exalt is what you're really about. You see what I'm saying? It ain't no way, if they were doing the work of the Lord, that they would be able to compare the work of the Lord unto their slavery on the job, and on their slaving on that job, to be somewhere the equivalent. They wouldn't be doing that at all. You don't see none of the apostles or anybody do that. Apostle Paul only mentioned this trade one time in the Bible. You see what I'm saying? And it's always funny because you never even heard Christ talk about carpentry. You see what I'm saying? They called him the carpenter's son. You see what I'm saying? He never just went all off into carpentry and then put that like it was equal with his work. It's not. Your work in the Lord far trumps what you do when you punch a goddamn clock. You see what I'm saying? They shall raise up the former desolate. Strangers is going to stand and feed the flock. What are the strangers going to be doing? The strangers is going to be the one grabbing the hay and giving it to your cattle. They're going to be your cattle, not theirs. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be feeding your flocks. So if they're feeding your flocks and working for you, who is to who? You see what I'm saying? If they're working for you, who is the light to who? You will be the light to them. Just like you're working for them today and they're the light to you. They're the reason that you put on the button down and the tie. You see what I'm saying? They're the reason that you try and talk like them. They're the reason that you look down on somebody that talk like me, but then look up to somebody that talks like some newscaster or something. You know what I'm saying? Who talks like the white man. Because they're a light unto you. You see what I'm saying? Like I said before, they're the reason why fake Israelites run around speaking Yiddish. Because they are a light to you. You say, supposed to be a light to the Gentiles. Well, why are they a light to you then? You can't be a light to them if you following all their goddamn ways. And you hate black people just like they do. And you know in your mind that in order for you to get up in their kingdom, you got to show them that you hate black people like they do. That's why they made you a supervisor. They made you a supervisor so that when it's time to lay people off, they'll send you to do the dirty work. Because they know that they want 3 blacks. When blacks will be already a minority inside that company, they want 3 blacks laid off for every 1 white. You see what I'm saying? You lay off all 4 of them, and they call 1 white dude back. Or they might call the white dude back and 1 black dude, but it's still the 2 brothers, 2 black dudes with no job. You see what I'm saying? That's what they got you doing, and it violates your conscience. Not unless you just totally sold out to them and hate and love them so much when you just openly just hate black people, right? Because then you're choosing what side that you're gonna be on when you people just straddling the fence. You know what I'm saying? It still got some heart for your people, but at the same time you're in this position of such and such, it's eating you up. You know what I'm saying? But then you think about, how you love that position, you know what I'm saying? And how all of these, how they inviting you, you know what I'm saying, to little company functions and things like that, you know what I'm saying? And you feeling so great just to be in their presence, you know why? Because they're a light to you. That's who you aspire to be. You see what I'm saying? And you're a fake Israelite, talking about we got to be a light to the Gentiles, then why in the hell you following him? Why are you imitating him? You see what I'm saying? And the sons of the alien shall be your plowmen and your vine dressers. The son of the alien. Who is the alien? The alien is the stranger that you have inside the land, right? He's an alien, just like they call Mexicans illegal aliens because they're inside America in a country that they perceive, that white people perceive as not being their country. Now, these aliens will be inside your country, and they will be your vine dressers. What are they going to be doing? They're going to be you're going to be instructing them on how to do your vineyard. And they're going to do it like you say, and they're going to see the wisdom that you have and how your way of doing the vineyards is way better than theirs. And who's going to be a light to who then? You will be a light to them, not the other way around. You see what I'm saying? But ye shall be named the priests of the Lord. Men shall call you the ministers of our God. Now think about this for a second. What is the job of the priest? The job of the priest is primarily to show the difference between the clean and the unclean, the holy and the profane, and to stand in matters of judgment. So if you're doing all of these three, and you're doing this better than anybody on the face of the planet, who's going to be the light? Now you're starting to understand what a light actually is. You see what I'm saying? Who's going to be the light and how to be a light to the Gentiles? And you ain't it. Ye shall eat the riches of the Gentile. You're going to eat the riches of the people that you saying that you're supposed to be a light to. But we talk about that. We talk about, they say, oh, no, that ain't right. We're supposed to be a light. We're supposed to be all about love. We're supposed to be a light to the Gentiles. When you don't even understand what the hell that even means. It says here in verse 6 that you're going to eat the riches of the ones that you're going to be a light to. Because in order for them to come to you and get that judgment, that wisdom, like I said, we're going to be a nation of kings and priests. And when you come before the king and the priest, you got to bring a gift. You have to. That's why Queen Sheba came to King Solomon with a train full of gifts. You see what I'm saying? And imagine the onlookers that saw that, right? Or the people of her own country that saw that, how great of a train of gifts that she's bringing to this Negro king. And what was King Solomon unto them that saw that? He was a light. Because what were they saying in their heart? How can I be like him? How can I be like them right there? How can I be like that people? See what I'm saying? That's what it means to be a light. And in their glory shall ye boast yourselves. What does this mean? In their glory, we're going to have the best of every damn thing. Whatever it is that they're good for producing, like say for instance, the Sabaeans and all of them, they're going to be bringing incense and oils. You see what I'm saying? The best oils on top of that. The stuff that looks like gold and smells like heaven. You see what I'm saying? They're going to be bringing that, and what are we going to do? And we'll read. And in their glory shall you boast yourselves, That is part of the glory of the Sabaeans for their production, and a lot of the Ethiopians for the production of the incense and the frankincense and myrrh and all of that stuff. And also, too, they have a lot of precious stones. So how are we going to boast ourselves in it? We're going to boast ourselves in it because we're going to have it on. We're going to be taking that oil. Yeah. Good stuff right here. Yeah. We're going to be lighting up those incense, you know what I'm saying? As I'm getting ready to do right now. Give me a second. Check out that aroma. This is what it means for us to boast ourselves. Like, man, praise the Most High, all praise the Most High. Most High Christ. And we're going to have all the abundance of the best things, you know what I'm saying? The best corns, you know what I'm saying? They come from all of the best flour, the most fine flour, the finest wheat. That's what it means we're going to be boasting ourselves. For your shame ye shall have double, and for confusion they shall rejoice in their portion. Therefore, in their land they shall possess the double. Everlasting joy shall be unto them. Now, check this out. It says, for I, the Lord, love judgment. I hate robbery for burnt offerings. And I will direct their work in truth, and I will make an everlasting covenant with them. And their seed shall be known among the Gentiles. You see this? How many of the Gentiles even caring about these fake groups? You see what I'm saying? They're not really knowing. And when it talks about being known among the Gentiles, what are we going to be? We're going to be reverenced. We're going to go into their city. If we go into their city, hell, they're going to be breaking out the goddamn trumpets for us. Who's going to be the light then? You see what I'm saying? Now you're learning what it means to be a light to the Gentiles. It's not that bullshit that you've been taught in these Christian churches and these fake Israelite groups. They talk about us being a light to the Gentiles. They can't tell you what the hell the light is. What? Because you gave a white man, a homeless white man, a couple of bucks, you were a light to him, huh? He's not even grateful for the few dollars for you buying him a meal. Because in his mind, you're doing what a slave is actually supposed to do. You're not doing a great deed. You see what I'm saying? And that deed that you do, he's not going to remember you for it a week later. He's not going to remember you for that. Not unless he wants to hit you up for, a couple more bucks. You see what I'm saying? So how the hell are you going to be a light to him? Even in his dirtiest state, and you got a halfway decent job, he's still better in this kingdom than you. So how the hell are you a light to him? You're not a light to him. All he had to do is cut his hair, take a shower, put on some other clothes. His situation can come up over you just in a couple of months. Because he gonna look at some of these unadvertised jobs, right? He can do that. Look at these unadvertised jobs, and then they'll pull him into those jobs. You see what I'm saying? And all of a sudden, you making 15 an hour, he's making 25. And he was just begging change for you a month ago. Now he's over you. You see what I'm saying? Now you lost your job. right? You lost your job and you got to go searching for another job. He got his job and he's not giving you nothing. You see what I'm saying? So where was that like then? You can't even depend on your Christian, fake Israelite brothers to even hook you up with a job. They instead of hooking you up with a job, you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna tell your wife, who she making more money than you, because she got her job. You lost yours. They're gonna tell her that she should leave, that she's okay to leave you. You see what I'm saying? Now she's high-minded and haughty. Now you not only out of a job now, but now you out of a place to stay, and she's gonna put you on child support. Why she still got her job? You homeless and on child support. You get a job, you cop a job somewhere at some temp service. You went from making up $15, $16 an hour, you know what I'm saying? And you and her put y'all's money together, got the house and did all of that. But now you by yourself, now you're making $11 an hour and she got you on child support for those 3 kids. You see what I'm saying? Now you're staying in a sleeping room some goddamn where. Now that white man that you gave that couple of bucks to is making $30 an hour now. You see what I'm saying? He's making $30 an hour now as an electrician, and he didn't know nothing about electricity at first. They brought him into that, made sure he passed the test. They taught him whatever it was that he needed to know. They gave him on-the-job training. Now he's making $30 a goddamn hour, right? Now he's got a house. You're staying in the sleeping room. And what are you doing? Next thing you know, he is obviously a light to you. You ran across the same man and you asked, hey man, where you working at now, man? Where you working at? You're like, yeah, man, I'm an electrician now. Yeah, such and such. And then he's like, then he's gonna ask you, you gonna ask him, damn, y'all doing any hiring? Y'all training people and all that? He's like, well, we're kind of, short staffed. We're kind of overstaffed right now. He said he's coming to you like that. But he's like, but I'm gonna keep my eyes open to see if they got a position for you or whatever. Now he's a light to you. You see what I'm saying? Because you figure in order for you to get that job, because that job doesn't have a whole lot of black people, in order for you to get that job, who you gotta be like? You gotta be like him. Now that homeless man is an atheist. You see what I'm saying? He don't believe in God, right? But now he is the light to you. So your light, when he was homeless, wasn't a light. You see what I'm saying? He despised that false light that you thought that you was bringing. He don't want to hear what you got to say. You like you think he want to hear that you was an Israelite? Think he want to hear that? But if you rule it over his behind, then he gonna hear what you got to say then. If his life is so damn destroyed and yours is so great, then you're gonna be a light to him then. Because he's going to have to realize that he has to follow, he's going to have to be likened to you to try and get a piece of what you got. But instead, he's an atheist, you know what I'm saying? And he runs around talking like a hick. And what do you start to do? You would go and fill it to the same damn place, fill out an application, and you start talking like him, just like a hick also. Who's like to who? And then you're doing this knowing that you're an Israelite. You see what I'm saying? Speaking Yiddish, now you're talking like goddamn Billy Ray Cyrus too. They are like to you, not you to them. That's why you should be sticking with your own damn people. And then on top of that too, you're gonna be a light to you're gonna be a light to somebody, and you hate the people that you're supposed to be a light with. Your fellow lights. You can't stand them, but yet you're gonna go and be a light to somebody else. As soon as a lot of you Negroes out there, as soon as you found out that you was an Israelite, first damn thing you wanted to do was go save white people who ain't even in trouble. No, nigga, you looking for that job. You carnal piece of crap. You looking for that job. That's what you're doing. Talk about you a light to the Gentiles. You going and begging them for a goddamn job, but you're a light to them, huh? Go to the window and slap yourself. Go to the mirror and slap your goddamn self. For as the earth bringeth forth her bud, and as the garden causeth the things that are sown in it to spring forth, so the Lord God will cause righteousness and praise to spring forth before all the nations. That's the light. You see what I'm saying? Because the Chinese is going to see, they eat dogs, but they're going to sit there and see that, wait a minute, look how healthy they are. And we're end up getting illnesses because we're eating dog. And they're not sick. Who's the like of who then? They're going to trying to find out, or they're going to be having some type of ailments, and you're going to be the one to have all the understanding in medicines, and they're going to have to come to you in order to get those ailments off their asses. Now, who is a light to who now? You see what I'm saying? Who is a light to? Now you're understanding what it means to be a light to the Gentiles. Being a light to the Gentiles don't mean you go and become a goddamn Gentile, stupid. Or you start loving the Gentiles and choosing them over your own goddamn people and judging with some type of stupid slave, double standard, you know what I'm saying? That's what a lot of you niggas do. With that being said, we are the ISUBK coming out of 1 West on the 25th Street, Harlem, New York. Under commanding your honor, pay your tithes, pay your offerings, support this truth. We got the St. Louis lecture coming up on the 29th of this month. It is called the Share Your Man lecture. See what I'm saying? It shows the woman how to actually be another wife to a man. You see what I'm saying? Shows what her damn purpose is as a wife. That being said, shalom.